This is a gem in the scripture canon. The Epistle of James is one of my favorites because it's so unique on so many levels. If you're ever needing to give a spiritual thought in a meeting, you can pretty much turn to the Epistle of James, randomly put your finger down and start reading. It's kind of the Proverbs of the New Testament. It's just a whole bunch of really, really inspired sayings, and in some cases one-liners that are just, they're power-packed. And before we dive into any of the actual verses, let's give some background here. Who is James? Tradition holds that this particular James, who wrote this letter, is not the brother of John, the two sons of Zebedee, some of the original apostles of Jesus, James and John, that worked with Peter, but rather this James, Christian tradition holds, is the half-brother of Jesus.
That's really makes it super exciting. We're talking about, we're listening to somebody who grew up with Jesus and would have known him intimately. And when I look at this, I think, am I hearing more of a family gospel lesson that Jesus may have been teaching his own brothers?
Which is fascinating because we know from the book of the Acts that none of Jesus's brothers believed in his divinity during his ministry, during his lifetime. It's only after his resurrection that there are some powerful experiences had by James and probably Jude, one of the other half-brothers, that actually turn the corner for them as far as their conversion is concerned. And then James, this half-brother, after this conversion, goes to Jerusalem, and he very quickly becomes the leader of the group of Christian saints in Jerusalem, the capital city. He becomes kind of the head of what we've termed in previous episodes as the Judaizers. James is kind of the leader of that group. So these are Jewish Christians living in Jerusalem who are being persecuted by the leaders of the Jewish faith at that time, the chief priests, the Sanhedrin, that also tried Jesus. They're going to bring these Jewish Christians under intense persecution. Remember, Stephen was stoned under the direction of the leaders of the Jews, and all those persecutions going out with Saul, who then became Paul. That's all directed by the leaders of the Jews against this group that they see as a breakoff. And now James, incidentally, what is his name in Greek?
Yeah, it's Yaakov or Jacob.